morning. This is Angie, and I am back to hopefully get somewhere close to finishing this up today. This is the original album, and we're making a duplicate to go along with it. The duplicate is, as you know, a little different here and there because I fixed some things that I discovered along the way that were kind of a problem that I didn't want to have to put up with in my albums. So anyway, I hope you'll join me. We are today on the front cover and the spine, the back cover. Well, yeah, the back, the spine of the book. We're going to cover it. And I hope that we get to putting in our pages today. So let's start with our cover and our spine. Now I have went ahead and covered mine with a paper. I have not decorated it yet, so let me show you what I've done. Here we are. Let me take this over just a little bit. There we go. I hope it's in the camera. Okay. So I have gone ahead and covered the front cover with the same bird. I have attached my ribbon. We still have to bind those off so they don't fray. And this one I put underneath the paper. I measured it out my same way by putting the paper on and leaving about a 1/8 inch around, or a 1/16 inch all the way around, except for here. And I'll get to why these are shorter in just a minute. On this side, I have placed the tie under this flower, and I have taped it with the score tape, and I have applied some glue, and then I hot glued this flower on here. So the other thing that I have done is I have found my center point on my spine here, on the outside of it. I could give you your measurements on that. However, your spine may be different than mine. So go ahead and measure it out, like perhaps right where these gullies come in. And measure from there to here and get your center point. And then do the same thing up here using the same lines. Get your center point here. The next thing you want to do is figure out how far over you want your paper to go on to this paper, or do you want it just beside it? How deep do you want your edges to be? On this one, my edge is only about what? Let me measure it there. It is only coming over about 5/8 of an inch. And then I have covered it just on the edge with this ribbon and this lace. What is it? It's lace, Angela. It's lace. The other thing I did was, and this is a correction that I'm going to make on from this binder to this one, from this binder to that one. I ran this ribbon with the lace on it underneath my spine section inside. I didn't like that because it changed how the pages work together. So this time I've changed it, and we'll try something a little different. This time I found my center according to where my lines are on, because it may be this one won't come over as far, or this one won't come over as far, or perhaps you'll want it even on both sides. So I found my center point. The way I found my center point on my ribbon was to just fold it in half the long way, and then I put pins in it. Just like if we were sewing, and I pulled the wire out first. But I just folded it in half, found my center point, and I put a pin. Let me find my brighter pin. Oh goodness. I just put a pin through the top here. Just like that. And then I pinched it again. And I put in one more pin just to kind of give me a longer line. And then I was able to line that up with this. My center point on this happened when I set this in the places I wanted, and then I used this mark as my center. Let's see if I got it right. It does go this way. So I did that on both ends, finding my center point. Let me wind this back up, get it out of the way, put my pin back up, and put this pin. It's a tiny pin, it's hard to hold. I'm going to put that one back in there. Okay. On the back of my bookbinding, this is a black cloth bookbinding, and I buy it at Dick Blick, and that's dickblick.com. On the back, I completely covered it with tape. I had lots of extra tape on my fat reel, so I used a lot of that, and then I used some 1/2 inch, some 3/8 inch, and some 1/4 inch to fill in everywhere. I will still go around the edges with glue and maybe down the center. And then I'm going to line up over here, my center point, and then I hope to drop it and have it fit. But we'll see. There's always lots of room for failure on this part. And you can see I'm laying mine out flat. A lot of people bind this way and that way, and I'll tell you, it's tough. So I am going to do it this way, and then we'll carefully get our bends put back into the book. Okay, so shall we try it? Okay. Cross your fingers. We may get there. So we have a lot to do to finish up. But getting this cover done and getting the spine pieces on the inside is going to make us feel superb. But we still have the inside page to do and the outside, the inside front and inside back covers to do. And then we get to embellish. Now, frankly, that's the hardest part for me, is embellishing. I did have to glue this down with Fabri-Tac. That worked the best to apply it to the book cloth. I think that this would work fine. However, this worked really well. And it has bonded nicely. I really like it. The first time I used that, I did not like it because I couldn't figure out how to make the glue work properly. But it's because I'm so used to glitter glue and it dries so fast and adheres so quickly that I wasn't used to using a glue that I had to press and hold a piece down with. So that was a little hard for me. Okay, now I am going to just make sure I have tape along my edge. And I know I don't because my tape, I didn't reach all the way with it. But I really want to make sure it's on that ribbon. Ugh, my hand is stuck. Thank goodness that it's not like, what is that glue that glues instantly? Okay, I'm going to do the same up here. Just a little extra insurance and making sure I have tape on this ribbon. Okay, let go. Okay, let's move this for a second. And I'm going to kind of work that around that ribbon and work it into the fibers. I still haven't decided what to do with the spine, if we should put anything else on this. I really want to, but I just don't know what to put there. I know there's a lot of good ideas. So, okay. Now, I am going to put the Fabri-Tac here. On the ribbon. Oh, it makes strings like the glue gun, I'll tell ya. Drives me nuts. Okay. I've refilled my glues. I cleaned out some of the nozzles. The reason I'm applying glue on the tape is so that I have maneuver room. If I should set this down and it is not on there straight, we'll be able to pull it off. Ugh, my fingers. My fingers are stuck. I know how to take care of that. I'm going to really put that close there. I know I'm going to be applying ribbon up near the edge, so if it goes over into the black area, I'll be able to cover that if it leaves any scars behind on the any glue marks behind. I decided to cover the whole thing, just so I have that moving room. Okay, clean off underneath, so you don't glue your book down to your surface. That would be sad, because then we'd have to repair the inside. Okay. Now let me make sure I've got the right area to the right area. Yes, I do. Okay, I'm going to start down here at the bottom. I want that center point. I want to line it up on both sides. It's very easy for it to move around. Ah, that is not what I want to do. Let me get a little wet cloth here. Well, I get my spine on there good, but I also have glue on it. Not what I really wanted to do, but it's there, so I'll have to figure out something to get it off of there with. Okay, let me clean up underneath here. Let's see, I know I have a better cloth. Let me grab one. Oops, don't want to pull all my box down that I have all my next items in for the next album. The roses and lace. I picked up a few more things yesterday. It's been a fun process to find the right things for it. Okay, now that linen does not like to get wet. So I may have to come up with something there. I may have to come up with a cover there or something. Okay. So do not apply too much wet to this linen because it starts to fray and come undone to the book cloth. Okay, going to carefully just work that into that spine area before I flip it over and work it the other way. Okay. Let's cover up our glues. Right now your book will be nice and stiff. I have things out that we're going to be using on the book over there. So start working this back in so that the spine begins to work again. And be gentle. Don't go too hard. And when you do a spine this way, a lot of times the book will not flip all the way over. It doesn't need to anyway. But it does need to act like it will definitely close. Okay, let's do this side. Okay. Okay. Now go ahead and lay this back down and work in your ribbon right here where it's just underneath, and really give it some good presses there to get it as flat as possible, but don't accidentally tear it up. You can remove any glue that pops out with the pointy part of your bone folder. That will adhere it down good, because we use that extra glue on it, the Fabri-Tac, so it still has drying time. And I think it actually works really well. I like it. I'm not fond of this cloth. I really prefer the leather, or the faux leather, or a butter suede. I think that it works a lot better. But I wanted to try it with this one just to see. I'm not real fond of it, but the faux leather has a little more, it doesn't stain up like this. If you get glue on it, it comes off. On this, you have to kind of find something to get it off with. But I think it's going to be fine. You're welcome to use whatever you'd like on it. And there we go. So, before we finish this front, well, we could do that part. We could go ahead and put our ribbons on there. That would be okay. Let me see what we have. Oh, I know, look at some new papers in there. I have to tell you, I looked at this to cover the spine. Is it kind of shiny? It's in plastic. I'm going to leave it in the plastic. It's just the burlap. I looked at using that for the spine. And then I looked at these. Isn't that wonderful? This would have looked great on this button, on this album. Look at that. Just the colors, how they come together. It would have looked great. And this is, I just bought it at Hobby Lobby. It's a paper craft, crinkle blue. But beautiful paper. So I got a couple of those to try on an album, and then I bought this one. Now, I wouldn't like it for this album, but it would still look good. But, man, I would go for that one. That would have been beautiful, and it wouldn't have needed anything but maybe some sort of dangle or something hanging from it with, I can just see some blue little crystals hanging from it and some hearts, and so maybe next time, huh? I also bought this because we're running out of paper, and some of you may have ran out of paper, but I didn't look at this for the cover. I looked at this for the inside cover and inside back cover for our envelope pockets. So I may be using some of that. We'll see how far we can stretch, how far I can stretch what I have left. Okay, so we need that. I'm off task. She's off task again. Call the scrapbook police. She is off task. Okay, so we know that's going to go on there. And I'm going to overlap it just slightly. Oh dear. I don't know who that is calling. It's really not ringing. It's the vibrator on it that's going. Okay, this is going to go on here. And this one is going to go underneath of it. This is still my dollar store lace. And what I did was I applied, let me see, this underneath of this. And I ran this right along that edge where it just came to these little holes. So first I'm going to cut my pieces. And I'm going to cut them long and probably take them to the inside of the album, because I just happen to like that better. Okay, there's a front one. Now let's cut a back one. I don't know if I put lace on the back of the other one or not, but we're going to on this one because I got that spine too wet and that fabric too wet, and it started to fray, so we have to fix as we go. And I need one more of these. Oh no. Am I gonna have enough there? Let's see. If not, I have more, I think. But it's enough. Yes, yes, yes. Yippee! Okay. Enough. Enough of that. That's what I have to say to my lab. Enough of that. She's always taking off with all my tools. Earlier, she took off with a bunch of garbage out of the garbage can. 3-year-old lab, and she's still acting like she's a 2. An age 2. Okay. Let's scoot this over. And let's have a look at our ribbon here. I'm going to get out my 1/8 inch score tape that is falling apart completely. Yes, yes, yes. Everyone needs score tape that's falling apart. Find the side you like best on your ribbon. Sometimes it has a side and sometimes it doesn't. And I'm going to apply this on the lace, the upper lace part. Am I in the camera? I hope so. So I had to meet with Geek Squad yesterday. Things are bad for my main computer. Its RAM is totally shot. I didn't run out of RAM. The RAM gave up. And so I'm looking at a 6 weeks fix or at a 1 week, buy a new one. I could have had everything started yesterday, but I went ahead and bought a new one, and I had to order it. They did not have it in stock. And so I'm still waiting, probably till next week sometime. Okay. Once you find a good place to peel that off, it'll peel right off. But yeah, it's been quite an ordeal trying to get back to doing the things I want to do here. So, haven't been able to. What I hate is the thought of reinstalling the programs on my computer. I have a family tree program that I am just sick about. Absolutely. So hopefully my online tree is just fine, and that I will be able to use that one, continue using that one, and I think maybe I won't put the big program in my computer anymore. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Okay, there's one. Let's do our other ribbon while we're here. And just double check that. Yep, it works. So we don't need to run that all the way down that one. Cut that off. Save that. It could be a snippet for a junk journal. Throw it in your ribbon bin. Okay. Once again, oh, you know what? I didn't check the lights. Where are the lights? Are they shining on here? It doesn't look like it from here. Well, if I look right here, I can see all my lights blaring. I've got lights at the side of me and lights at the top of me, and I've got a light back there, and so it's a well lit up craft area, that is for sure. But I hope not glaring down here. I hope to have them balanced out right. If I don't, please let me know. Of course, I'll see it when I get back to the video, when I finally get to look at it on the computer. So, yeah, really frustrating to be without my computer. I'm working on our annual workshop. Have to start now and hire our speakers and send out my letter to the people that we'd like to hire, and I have yet to get back to all of them because of email addresses being in my computer. But today I thought, you know what? I think I saved that address book on the cloud. If I did that, I can retrieve it, right? So, I just thought of that this morning. I thought how wonderful that would be to be able to retrieve just the address book even, you know. Of course, I'm going to lose all my programs in my computer because Geek Squad can't transfer over programs. but they can transfer over all my documents, and I'm hoping they can save all my files and my bills and everything I put in my computer. Sheesh. Crazy, huh? All right. And the thing is I just bought a larger hard drive, an external, and shame on me, I was supposed to back up my whole computer to it, and I didn't. I didn't get it done. Oh, goodness. Shame on me. Shame on me. But that's the way it goes. Lesson learned. I'm going to decide how much of that I want to cover up. I think maybe that's too far. Right there, maybe. Or maybe there. No, that's too far. I think I'll go to there. Okay. Now, let's apply. This is 1/2 inch score tape. I am going to apply that to the back here. My reason is that I do not want the glue to absorb through all of this. So this will help prevent that. Going to try my hardest to run it just along that top edge. Oh, and everything's caught. There we go. I don't know, that got something on there. Put that over there, put that over there. I think my score tape fixed itself. My messy 1/8 inch. Oh, good. Goody goody. Work that into those fibers again. Find a place that it will come off nicely without crinkling up anything. Okay. Now I am going to run glue on it. Just in case I need to peel it back up. And I'm going to apply that right about there. The reason we can pull this to the inside is because we're going to cover this with the designer papers. So I'm going to put that there. And I am going to give it a little yank on that ribbon part with this. Not much of one, just a little one. Just to hold it in nice and tight. And then we'll go ahead and put some on there too. Okay, let's see how it looks. Woohoo! Well, look at that. Looks nice. Let's do the other side. I'm going to flip my book around because it'll be easier. And I think maybe right there. Yeah, I think so. Because I got to cover up that little piece that I hurt. I hurt my book. One thing I did find yesterday at Hobby Lobby, for those of you that are thinking about wanting to do this album, I hope there's some of you, the burlap flowers. Give away some ideas here. If you go buy these in the wedding department, they're a little bit cheaper. You pay anywhere from $4.99 to $6.99 in the scrapbook department for 6 of these. And in the in the wedding department, you only pay $2.99 right now. And if it's the week where this stuff's on sale, then it's a better price. And I found burlap bows for $3.99, and they don't have burlap bows over in the other section, in the scrapbook section. And I found these little lace and muslin flowers, and they were only $2.99 for 6. So over in the other department, you'll pay quite a bit more. And I found these. They were $2.99. They're just a paper flower, and these are all in the wedding section. So that's a very good deal, I think. Let's see what I paid. That one does not have a price. Neither does that one. I think I paid $6.99 for these. So the price is on the code, I guess. So I just dropped a bunch of paint containers. I have paint over there, and a hot glue gun, all kinds of things. I have things everywhere. I clean off my table, I start something. I clean off my table, I start something. It's the way it works. Gotta stay busy. I find when I don't have my art time, I get just a little bit cranky. So I do feel better when I'm in here. It's a good place. Okay, pulling our book forward. Running this just on the tape. Okay. We're going to need to run it right about there. Oh boy, I almost did not leave enough room on that one. Don't do that. That's a no-no. So I know I'm going to have paper up here, so I'm going to put that tape clear across there. And I'm going to put it across there. Don't put it into your spine area. Okay, let's have a peek. And there we go. And there we go. Looks good. Now if you want to add more color, you go ahead and add ribbon to it, whatever you want. You could add a second layer of the burlap ribbon, especially out of that case of ribbon that we got. There's your little ribbon, it could run along there. But we have that polka dot ribbon and all kinds of things. Okay, we will not embellish it right now because we want to be able to continue to finish these pages, and too much bulk back there will make it hard to work on the pages. It'll be hard enough with this flower on this one. So we are going to get ready to do the inside front cover, and we are going to need to make some envelopes. I'll quickly go over that with you in just a minute. You will also need to get out your scraps. I am down to scraps on my end. That's why I purchased these little papers, because I thought I might be able to use them just like inside the envelope. Or so if you have other paper you want to mix with this, that is very acceptable, and it's very okay to do that. You don't, just because you buy a line of paper does not mean you have to stay within that line unless you're specifically working for that company on a design team or something, and then they may want or require you to stay within that line of paper. But I am not on a design team. Someday I might like to be. So I'm on my own, and I am free to do however I want to do mine. I can mix and match all my papers if I want. I don't want to do that, but I do think I may need to add just a little something, but we'll see. I may not. After we get through these, I also have, let me put that in my special paper file. Oh, my special paper file is going up. There we go. I got it. I also have lots of black. I have some gray left and some white. And, oh, these are the ones we're going to make tags and stuff out of. And then I have these scraps left, so we may end up using scraps. We'll see. All right. And I'm still saving those to put in. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick break, have a cup of coffee, and then I will be back with you. So I'll see you in just a little bit. Bye for right now.